Well, this is what happens in Ohio. Actually, in a lot of places.
What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream. This snow earlier was, it was all icy and everything. Now, like I said, I don't know. It's got to be 40 some degrees right now. You can see where Bud drove out. He went to visit his friends one last time before he took off tomorrow. And you kind of see where I did that shoveling earlier. It's funny how that works. Now, this is on that last video. It's uploading currently. But yeah, it's really, really odd how that works. I mean, now we're flooding. It's flooded back there real bad. I don't know if you can see it. But yeah, it's really flooded back there. I'm using my phone, so you're going to hear some sound and stuff, some wind. The mailbox flag is up. The plow truck hit it so hard that it put the flag up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive the truck through here a couple of times and make it to where when this all refreezes that it's relatively flat and we have some paths. Because right now, for example, at the end of the driveway, once that freezes out there, it'll get really hard. And unfortunately, Heidi's car's so short, it'll drag and tear stuff. I mean, it's like running over an iceberg. Same with this here. That's what I was talking about earlier when I said, I wonder if Heidi's car will be able to get over this. Well, of course, when it's soft, she can. No problem. But whenever it freezes over, nah, that ain't happening. So, yeah, this is one of the reasons I didn't really want to plow. It gets kind of weird and messy when it's like this, but I will drive the truck. I gotta go to the Family Dollar over there and see if they've got a bag of ice. Salt. The other thing, to fight the ice. Because again, this is all gonna freeze over later. Alright, so I just got back from getting the bag of salt that we need to take care of all this mess. And I seen the steps on the RV and it got me thinking about something. And that is Heidi's brother's a machinist. You guys, we never mentioned that before. And he's got a full-blown machine shop in his garage shop building, whatever you want to call it. I mean, there's a full-blown machine shop. So even though he has a full-time job, he likes to do projects on the side. And I asked him if there was some way he could make longer legs for the RV. Now, if I can find it, I'm going to show you the clip right now of us going camping. And there was 2 occasions that the extensions that are given to us by the people that make the steps, which I think is Lippert. I'll have to go look again. Or maybe it's Morride. Sorry, I think it's Morride. They don't extend far enough. Alright, so we made it. We're set up. Our site's extremely unlevel.
First time ever.
Yeah, this is the first time. So unlevel that good thing we had the Level Mate Pro, because I would have normally just stacked the wood like I normally do, but the Level Mate Pro says you need 6 inches. And the boards that we had when we stack them only give us 4 inches. So we came up with a couple extra boards. We always have extra boards just for that reason. But once we got it level, it was on this side here, we found for the first time ever an issue with the steps. We had to put wood underneath the steps because even extended all the way out, they would not touch the ground. The back one here, at this door here, it tried. It was real close. But the front one, forget it. If I lower this step down, there's no way those feet are going to extend and touch the ground here. They can't even be close. Not even close. I don't even think I want to bother open. Okay, just for fun. Why not? Let's see what it looks like. I bet you it's horrendous. Heidi called. She's already off work. I said, hey, I'm busy. She goes, you want me to bring some food? I said, yeah, just go ahead. Yeah, look at this. I could extend those legs a little bit more, but I can't extend them that far. I mean, you need a step just to get up to the first step. So we asked them to send us some extensions, and they did, but they were just slightly longer. So I'm going to see if this fits. He told me to do a test fit, make sure that everything works good before he makes 3 more. As I mentioned in a previous video briefly, I wanted to show you what that looked like. And he's a really good job. The thing that I'm concerned with, which I've got to deal with here after the fact, is powder coat this. I have to powder coat this. Basically, these will do everything the legs that are currently on there will do, plus about another foot. You can see, I think this is the extension here from this point on. So we'll try this out. I don't know if this is going to be the right angle or anything, but Heidi's at work. She's closing the store again. So this is the only chance that I really got to do this before it gets real cold out. And I don't want to deal with this snow and ice going on. All right, so here you can see this is the extension. This is not the extended one that they gave us. This is the one that came from the factory. And this is called a step above. And again, I'm almost positive this is more right. We love the steps. Look, no effort whatsoever. It's holding itself. And you can see how short the legs are originally. And again, compare them. I mean, that's quite a bit. So let's go ahead and set this one off to the side. And let's see, we want the sharpest angle that way. And make sure I put them in the right slot. Oh, there we go. Ooh, looky there. Okay, let's see these holes if they line up. Yep. You guys might be asking, why is he trying every single hole? Well, I don't know if he got it centered, and I need to make sure the holes are directly across from each other the way they need to be, and that the pin will go through every one of them. And if that's the case, then I can tell him it's a go. That we can definitely, you can make 3 more just like it. And we're going to see if we got the right depth. That's the other thing too. Yep. Now, I'm sure you guys are saying, well, with that leg down, it's going to be way up in, you know, the first step's going to be real high. I don't have a problem with the first step being high because we have a landing. It's, I think, a Lippert. I can't remember who makes it, but we have this landing thing. And it's a big step that we can put out as a platform that's freestanding. That's what we did with our old RV. We got into a situation like I just showed you, I think, if I showed you, with those clips. Okay, so I see where there's a problem. There's still 2 holes showing, and it's all the way in. All right, so before I get inside the RV there and check it out, which I'm sure it'll be okay, I went ahead and took off. It's 5.5 inches that they were too long. But these are way longer. The original ones, you can see how much we're adding to the length and the height. So these are the extended legs that they sent us from MacLeod. And you can see they are longer than the old ones, but they're not as long as these new ones are going to be. This is going to give us at least another, I don't know what that is. Let's get us a measurement real quick. And the thing is I was so low. Don't get me wrong. We were so far off the ground that this sometimes won't be enough. But it's going to give us another 2 3/8 inches. You know, and I just made a mistake. I made a huge mistake, actually. I should have not cut this off. I should not have cut this off. I should have left this attached and not stowed away. Just kept these big legs in the bay of the RV for when we needed them. And just use them at that point. Damn it. That's bad. That's my bad. Son of a... Okay, I gotta call Heidi and admit that to her. Because I'm gonna tell her brother to make the legs exactly like he made them. We can just keep a set of these stored. Ay, ay, ay. I never thought about that. Alright, so you guys probably cannot see this at all. Sorry about that. Probably could flip on some lights if I had the other stairs down. But anyways, I'll try to lighten this up in post, so hopefully you can see this. This is the leg. All I did was take 5.5 inches off the end. It's still way longer, and we can't use the holes all the way to the end, so I'll do something to mark it to make sure that we don't go too far out. But yeah, this is going to work. You know what I'm going for here? Bone dry. And it is, except, man, there's a lot of condensation in here. The humidity is through the roof. Look at this. Look at that. I mean, I can see it on the cabinets. That's not good. Now, I was concerned when I first seen that. I'm like, man, that means there's moisture. It's just plain old moisture. I don't even know what to do about that. I mean, I could run the furnace and it would heat it up, but I don't think it would correct the moisture. Yeah, that ain't good. I mean, this is a very, very, very damp RV right now inside. Everything's, it's just the temperature change. The thing is wherever there's moisture to this extent, it's going to get cold. And when it gets cold, everything is going to get, you know, frozen and have a layer on it. I don't know. I don't know what to do. But the RV's dry. I walked through the whole RV. I can't find any water coming in anywhere. Checked all the windows. Checked around the back there. Let's go ahead and turn this off. Oi! Climbing around this thing. Man, after going and seeing all those RVs, I mean, obviously some of them we saw was Rockwoods, but I'm going to tell you, I really like this RV. You know, it's just perfect for us. It's big, but it's not too big. I mean, there's a lot of seating, but it's not too long. It's not too tall. It's not too short. I'd rather have shorter myself. I could deal with a ceiling that's just a little bit shorter, tell you the truth. You know, I don't need but about that much height. That'd be nice. I mean, if you take that and multiply it times the entire width and length of the RV, that's a lot of surface that's not being drugged through the air on the outside. But anyways, it's perfect for us. I mean, the storage, how many times you guys seen us do the video on the storage, and it's like, man, this storage is so great. You know what? Heidi and I are going to re-walk through this RV one day, and we're going to talk about what we seen at the show and compare it to this RV and why some of the stuff that we just couldn't find on other RVs. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do, so I'll just shut up about that. Looks good in here. I'm out of here. I'm going to go back in the house where it's relatively warm. It's not bad out here right now. I would have to think, well, it's 41 in the RV. And outside it is a grand total of 43. So yeah. But we're going to look at the temperatures and what's going to happen here. Yeah. So the low tonight is going to be 20, or it's already been 20, I don't know, but 20 tomorrow. 20's the high, 20's the low. Monday, the high is 25, the low 16. Tuesday, the 26, the low 15. You could see how cold, but look how warm we get again. Isn't that crazy? So, yeah. All right. Well, today turned out to be pretty darn chilly. We're 22 degrees colder than yesterday. You guys remember I said I was going to have to put some salt out, so I did, and we got a little bit of snow. But more importantly than that, We got a empty spot here shortly in our driveway. He's all loaded up. He's emptied all his water, and he said, I'm ready to get out of here. So, adios in his case, and tonight he'll be in North Carolina. So, well, safe travels to him. I'm in my pajamas still, and it's nice. He got his bed swapped around. We emptied all his water because he's going to be in freezing temperatures for a long time. When he goes down to North Carolina, apparently he's going to most likely just stay with his friend, couch surf. So no liquids in the van are needed and wanted in this case, because it's going to get below freezing there for a couple of nights. And then again, he's going to Durham, and then Raleigh, which he keeps on calling Raleigh and whatever other name. And then after that, he's going to it's cold out there. He's going to head out to Statesville, Georgia. I don't know what he's doing in Statesville. Just hanging out again. He's got friends all over the country. That's one of the things that's kind of odd with kids that are millennials that I can't relate to, especially like in our situation. Whenever those kids, oh my god, oh my god, that's hilarious. He pulled back in the driveway immediately. He did a U-turn up the street. He's a vegan, so as far as food-wise, he's got a pretty specific palate, and he had pre-made a bunch of food. He forgot it in the refrigerator. So he run back in. He's like, I need to take all this. He goes, that's pretty anticlimactic. So he's heading out of there again. I told him, I said, I'm not filming that over. He said, that's all right. Yeah, he's got to spin around here. His van's sitting out there. Let me see. Yeah, you can see him out there dorking around. So one of the things that we'll just keep an eye on here, instead of you guys seeing my face, we'll just look at the monitor, which is a tablet, a big Galaxy View. We bought this for RVing. Maybe I'll talk about that in a second. Boy, talking about getting sidetracked a few times. So one of the things that millennials do, at least out in our area, I mean, we live out kind of in the sticks, and as far as friends, you may not have neighbors. You may not have neighbors for the kids to play with, or neighborhood kids, I should say. And that was the case with ours. There was one girl that lived up about 2 houses from us. She lived there for about 5 years. She was older, and she was kind of goofy, and she moved away. There was a couple of boys that lived behind us that were hellions, that were younger than our youngest buddy. So they kind of hung around with them a little bit, but not very much. And then they moved away. And then, we had no one else. There was no other neighbors that lived next door. Oh, I'm sorry. The immediate next door neighbor, there was a couple of boys that were about my son's age, and they had similar interests and everything. And they lived there for a short time. And then that was about it. We'll go ahead and see him drive up the street again. Adios. So as far as being a millennial and growing up in the era of computers and not having a lot of neighborhood friends to play with, his friends became people that he was gaming with online. All these different, and then he got into music and all these different music forums and music groups and stuff like that. He's got friends all over, and I'm talking about people that he's known since he was 14 years old, 13 years old. So he's known them for 10 years, and they chat and they communicate all the time. So it's a weird thing. I can't wrap my head around it, because we always moved around, and my parents always seemed to kind of move into an area for the most part that had kids. There was a couple of times that we didn't, but most of the time they did. All baby, my parents are baby boomers, so there was a lot of other baby boomers that were all having kids about the same time as my parents did. So there was a couple times. Just to give you an example, we moved into an area that the housing was developed for basically baby boomers. There was a lot of housing developments that were like that in apartment complexes. And again, to give you the example of how many kids there potentially could be, we had moved into a development that not only were there a lot of kids, to the point where there were multiple buses that would pick up in this development, and we were all going to the same school. But there was also a bunch of kids that were my age. We actually, because mopeds were kind of a thing in the 80s, it seemed like everybody wanted mopeds. And our neighborhood, at least in our area, wanted a lot, everybody, all the boys had mopeds once they got to, 13 years old. So there was a whole group of kids between 13 and at the oldest 15, because usually when you get a driver's license, you don't ride your moped anymore. So between 13 and 15, we had in R1 development 14 moped riders. We were like a gang. We would just travel the whole development on our mopeds. It was a thing. It was just a thing. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, we thought we were Billy Badasses. We'd cut through people's lawns and we'd run stop signs and oh man, I don't know. It's just a funny thing. Getting back to what I was talking about, that big tablet. So I bought this big tablet for Heidi to use. It's a Galaxy View, Samsung Galaxy View. And they don't make it anymore. They made it for quite a few years. And I bought it. I think it was like $300, something like that. And she utilized it. The whole thing is Heidi has a hard time seeing her phone. Well, used to have a hard time seeing her phone when I bought this, but now her phone's getting big enough that she can see her phone pretty well. However, whenever I bought this, we thought, well, this will be nice when we're navigating, that she could have it in the truck, because it is a full-blown tablet. Although it's on AT&T's plan, I don't have a SIM card for the phone in it. So we just operate off of Wi-Fi. But the fact that we could connect this to one of our hotspots, or we could put a SIM card in here from AT&T or whoever, I can get it unlocked and do whoever. We thought it'd be a nice addition if we were driving down the road and Heidi needed to help me navigate. And we never really used it for that because of advancements in technology, and I got different GPSs that got bigger. Now I've got, an on-screen display also giving me Waze. It just got easier. It got easier for me not to use this. And the one thing I found that it was really handy for camping, which I never thought of, was this became our TV screen, because Heidi don't normally watch, and even if she did watch, I could take this outside and set it out in our campsite, and watch TV. I could, stream whatever I wanted with Netflix or Prime or whatever. I mean, I could watch pretty much everything you can on your phone, I can watch on this. And it became a tool that I'm really glad we have. So there's something you might want to think about. It's basically a portable TV. It's a security device. I mean, it's kind of nice that I can use this to check out what's going on at any time. I just kind of leave it on, sitting in the living room, as you saw there. But yeah, I'll put a link down below for this. I don't know if you can still get it, but it might be worth it, that's for sure. I'm happy with it. And we got a real nice case for it, too. Wait till I call Heidi and tell her that Buddy took off. Hopefully he stops by her work, because she's kind of strange about that. I mean, it's her baby. I just realized that the last video, how much we talked about him leaving, and this video, how much I've been talking about him leaving. So it must be pretty significant on my part, too. I didn't even realize it. But he still has a bunch of stuff here. He's cleaned out his room, though. Let's go look at his room. Yep, this is all that's left. He bought these big speakers. I don't know how to describe it. They're portable amps. And he bought 2 of them, and he was going to give one to a friend. that lives in New York, and I guess that never happened. But yeah, he took most of his music stuff. He's got a bunch of guitars. He said he did not want to bring his acoustic guitar because, oh, he's got a guitar in there too. That's kind of odd. Well, he's got so many guitars, he must have brought another. He has another one. Like I said, he's always had a bunch of guitars. He did take his keyboard, and he took almost all his sound equipment, because these couple pieces here, he has a whole slew of foot pedals and sound effects and stuff like that. Yeah. There was something else. No, that was the only other guitar. But yeah, his acoustic, it's a really, really nice acoustic guitar. I really like the way it looks and sounds. It's beautiful. It's just beautifully made. Here, I'll show you guys. It's Mitchell. But it's just it's just really nice the way it looks. And he takes pretty good care of it. Yeah, I've always liked this guitar. Of course, I don't play guitar. I haven't played an instrument for years. So he's got some stuff, obviously, that he left behind, and he knows that if we get on the road and he's still out there on the road, he hasn't had a chance to make it back. We're just going to pack all this stuff up. I think there's a lot of stuff in here. Yeah, we have totes like this, but a little bit smaller. Told him we'd just pack up all this stuff and bring it over to his sister's and we'll just store it in her basement. But he should have brought that power strip. That wasn't very smart. Yeah, he could have brought that power strip, made it a little bit easier inside for him. But yeah, so this is his room. Like I said, we don't ever come in his room, so it's kind of odd me being in here. Oh man. So what's that mean for us? Well, it means the house is empty again. That's not a big surprise. But more on a personal note for us, man, it just reminds us that we need to get our butts moving, and how much, how easy it'd be for us to be out of here. So you've seen all his stuff, all his possessions pretty much are in that room. And he's got a little bit that's down in the basement too. Probably maybe 2 totes worth of stuff down in the basement. And out of all his stuff, you could still see how much was left behind. Well, I imagine that if you scaled that up in the correct proportion, that we would have quite a bit of stuff that we just would have left behind that we need to do something with. And I think we'll be a little bit more critical with our stuff. We'd be more, hey, it's out of here. Donate it, give it to somebody, throw it away, whatever. Yeah, I think we have a different attitude towards it. He's kind of adopted that too, but so yeah, it gets us thinking, what are we doing? Why aren't we there yet? I think we're closer than we realize, and we just know that we have to flip the switch and go from day-to-day life and slowly transitioning. And once we flip that switch, all bets are off, and now we are in full-blown, let's get it all out of here, and get it out of here now and be done, in a month's time. Again, the house sale's the only thing, and we talked about that already, about estate sales versus, a regular private sale. Let's close this out. This video went on long enough. I rambled quite a bit. Listen, I'm just giving you content of what's happening, what we're thinking about. A lot of this stuff pertains to RVs. A lot of this stuff does not pertain to RVs. Some of this stuff pertains to van dwellers. Some of this pertains to people who have become empty nesters. We've never really considered ourselves having a child at home with our son for like the last couple years, because he leaves and he's gone for weeks, months on end, and then he shows back up again. So it's not really an empty nest situation, but there was a point that it became that. But we just want to kind of communicate that with you guys and let you know what's going on. We're working on things at a very slow pace because of the winter and the way the weather is, and It seems like that we always have an excuse, and it's not that we're making those excuses. We just know that it wouldn't behoove us. Let's use that word, behoove. It would not behoove us at this point to jump into full time and just call an estate sale, as I just mentioned, and have them come in and sell everything for us. So since I'm kind of stuck in here with the video editing and shooting videos for you guys, I'll try to put up some decent content. Maybe not what I just did. I mean, this is kind of just me flapping. But I do need to get to work on selling stuff on eBay. And I'll tell you what, this distraction of me shooting video for you guys might be an excuse that I'm making up subconsciously for myself, because I know once I get into that eBay thing, you know, that's a process. And, you know, it's kind of like getting out all your garden equipment and your gardening tools and starting your garden for the season. You know, it's you know you should do it, you know you want to do it, you know it's all out there for you to be able to do it. It's just getting started, and then once that garden starts growing, you know, all the weeding and picking and keeping up with it to make it productive. That's kind of what I feel about this eBay. I mean, I've sold on there plenty of times. I have a lot of stuff that we need to sell. It's just getting into that mode is such a huge step. You know, once you're in the water's fine. It's just getting in that water initially. So I'm closing this out. We're done. The video went on long enough. I hope you guys stuck through the end. And as always, guys, I hope to see you out there. Bye.